What's up, guys? It's your boy Zowoki back out with some more of the Chris Watts videos, obviously, until we can find the answers that lead us into the direction that possibly, hopefully one day, fingers crossed, will bring 100% justice and Nicholkessinger may be actually interrogated properly. But a lot of things have been going through my head about this case. Again, obviously, I'm thinking about this a lot when it comes to this case. The big things that I have big discrepancies on, why were the girls murdered? I understand that he wanted to restart, but were the girls initially going to be in the mix of the annihilation of the family, or was it just going to be Shanann? Again, all of this is unfortunate to begin with, but there are definitely some theories out there, which again, we're not stating are factual, but it definitely scratches your head and makes you think differently. Another thing that really bothers me is the dad when Nicholkessinger was having her interview. One, why was he in there? Two, he slips up during the interview. On the August 13th information that he was giving out about the 9 o'clock thing that happened with the interview that they had on the 16th, which we're going to watch on this channel. Again, definitely what we're going to be doing as well is we're going to be going to these channels. We're going to be subscribing, liking, sharing, watching their videos as well to help them succeed on their channels. Again, we're looking at Crazy Crime Chick, and we're going to be looking at Truth Untold. Again, links are in the description below. But if you guys would like to subscribe to my channel, also that white bar icon is down at the bottom right. Hit that bell icon next to it. So I do post videos like this one. You guys will get that little ring notification that Zowoki myself has posted that video. And then you guys can watch, comment, like, and share. And again, I thank you guys so very much for that love and support. We just hit 52,000 subscribers, and it's all because of you guys. So keep on doing what you guys are doing. With that being said, let's get into the first part. And the big one is, did NK's dad slip up in the interview when he was putting his input, which one, he shouldn't have ever been there. Two, if she wanted an attorney, she should have requested an attorney. Three, he should have never been there. She was older than 18. They should have questioned her alone. Again, I am not a professional, nor do I claim that I am a criminal enthusiast. I'm just a chair or armchair detective, that as they say it, that sits behind their keyboard and watches very, very thoroughly when it comes to a lot of crime videos, especially this one. Again, I don't state that my stuff is, or my information or my analysis is factual. It is for educational and entertainment purposes. So with that being said, let's get into the video. Subscribe, Crazy Crime Chick. Go do it now. Subscribe to her channel. Warning, entering NK zone. Gross.
Any other conversation that makes sense?
I mean, honestly, at this point, I'm really tired, so I know there are certain things.
That's a red flag in itself. I'm really tired. Like we've already listened to when we heard Deceptive Detective, throwing them off, kind of telling them, oh, I can't tell this, and I'm really tired. Like they're giving excuses why they can't remember certain things, and which is utterly BS because one, their interview was at like 6, 7 o'clock. Come on. You're 30 something years old. You're that tired. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's 7-11 right now, and I'm definitely tired. So let's continue.
And I need to tell you guys that we'll get to as these days progress.
Yep.
But in
Her
all
voice
honesty,
annoys me.
If it doesn't stand out to me now, it probably wasn't relevant.
What about that 9 o'clock thing you were telling me on Monday?
Oh, that he told me? Oh yeah, well we'll get there. We'll get there. We're still on Sunday.
So we're on Sunday.
We're
Oh.
This is gonna be a long.
So she says, what's about that 9 o'clock thing? Oh, we'll get to that. They never get to it.
We're gonna get there to Monday. We're getting there.
They never get to it.
So.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all having an amazing day or evening or night.
It's okay, it's Monday.
It may be for you. And the audio you just listened to, that was Nicholkessinger and her dad, Dwayne. She went to go do an interview with Kevin Kovac on August 16th, and she did take her dad along for the ride.
Why?
And you hear her father clearly saying what about that 9 o'clock thing you told me about on Monday? And for me, it sounds like the mistress gets a little uncomfortable that her dad brought that up. And she kind of just dismisses it altogether and says, oh, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. And
They
then she
never
kind
do.
of like chuckles. And then Kobach jumps in and was like, yeah, we'll get to that. We're still on Sunday. And they all just laugh about it. Wow. They never go back to find out what, in fact, her dad was talking about.
So 9 o'clock on Monday would have been after the murders have taken place. She had stated that she didn't want to talk to Chris anymore because she was going to go hang out with Jim until this all blows over. But what is significant about 9 o'clock on Monday? Because Sunday is when the murders took place. Sunday into Monday morning. Are we talking about 9 o'clock in the morning or 9 o'clock in the evening? I'm not quite sure.
So he never said what it was that Nicole told him that happened on Monday at 9 a.m. But I think we figured
9 a.m. Okay.
So, like I just said, the 9 o'clock event Dwayne brings up, they never go back to talk about. And when you listen to Chris Watts' interviews and you look in the discovery, there's no mention of anything about something important that happened at 9 on Monday. So you're left to wonder, okay, what was this event even about? What
Her phone pinged that morning at 6 something. It's like 6:40ish. Or 6:11. I can't remember offhand. But she never clocks into work. So we don't know at what time she ever even showed up. We don't know her alibi. She never gives an alibi where she was that morning. They didn't look into her work. And if they did all this stuff, like people have said, the DNA, her alibi, like it's in apparently the sealed documents. Why are they sealed? We see this 2,000 pages of everything when it comes to this case, besides quite a bit of different things, but this one as well. Nicole, why can't we know this? It's part of the interview, the three-hour interview that we're watching and listening to. Why isn't it in the files of where she was? Her alibi. Why did her phone ping? We've been trying to figure this out. Multiple channels trying to figure this out. What that 111-minute phone call was. The ping. Her alibi. Why wasn't she at work? She religiously called Chris every single day when they first started dating. But then the morning of the murders, silence.
what was he talking about? Well, when I did my last live, one of my subs commented, and what they said just completely threw a light bulb off in my head. I was like, oh my God, this is it. This is exactly what I think Nicole told her dad about something happening at 9 on Monday.
I want
So
to
on
get this light bulb.
September 4th, the mistress went to the CBI headquarters and she met up with Agent Kobach. This is where she met and was introduced to Detective Baumhover. And this is where they let her know that Agent Kobach would no longer be her point of contact and it is now going to be Detective Baumhover. I think it's interesting.
I did not know that.
The lead detective in the case didn't meet the mistress until September 4th. And the only one who was dealing with her was Agent Kobach. Also, it's interesting that.
So why was he removed then? See, I'm learning things on this case every single day. It may be little, but we're learning.
That she didn't even hand her phone physically over until September 4th.
What?
She was at the headquarters. She handed over.
I thought she handed it over at that last interview she had with Kobach. Because she had 2 different phones. What? I thought she handed it finally over.
Typed up notes that she thought were important and things that she has forgotten.
Oh, I remember this. So I'm sorry. I apologize for stopping, but you guys don't want me talking during when these people are talking. But like when we looked at this last time on a different channel, or not in the channel, the Google search that I had, like the stuff that was in there, like it doesn't seem like it's her word. It's somebody else's word.
And in these reports,
and they don't make sense.
For Monday, August 13th, she says this was done on the phone between her and Chris. So this was a conversation between them two. And this is what she says. Chris says his home camera shows him leaving for work at 5:15 like usual that morning. Chris tells me that his home alarm system notified him that at 9:10 his garage door opened. But that he
What?
received a notification on his phone that it closed again.
Which a lot of theories have been that that's when Nicole Atkinson and her son was there, possibly pushing on the door, which they were trying to look inside to see if the car was there. That could be it, or it could be the other theory that others have stated that Nicole Kessinger came back to make sure that things were cleaned up, put away, removed, because when Chris came after the cops had him to come back, he went through the Lexus, he went through the house. It took him forever. I wouldn't say forever, but it took him a while to go from the garage door to open up the front door. And then when they went in the front door, the police officers, he went straight downstairs into the basement. It looked like he was trying to, it wasn't like he was calling. You didn't hear him say, Shanann, Bella, Celeste. He was quiet. He was looking to make sure things were cleaned up and put away, taken care of.
He thought that Shanann left out that garage at 9:10 that morning. He suggested that she either left out the garage door or the back door because there is no footage of her leaving his front door camera.
But she had nothing
Now,
with her.
I believe, and my sub that brought this to my attention, we believe that this is exactly what Dwayne was talking about when he mentioned what was that 9 o'clock thing you said happened on Monday? And she dismissed it. This is exactly what
Interesting.
he was talking about.
Interesting.
Now, some
Interesting.
people are going to say, well, maybe Chris was lying to her and he told her this. And I give you that. Okay, let's go down that road.
Yep.
Well, here's the thing. In her park interview, when everybody thinks Shanann just is still missing at this time, that maybe she possibly.
There are also people that think this whole thing, that this murder, is fake. Why would it be fake? I'm still trying to think about why that could be a possibility of why this whole thing would be faked. I just don't get it.
Possibly just went off. She was upset with Chris. She took off with the kids, okay? You would think in this interview, she would tell them about this.
Everything.
Because you would think this would be good information to pass along.
Yes.
That, hey, he told me at 9:10 that, his garage opened. So she probably left out of there. Did she bring it up? No.
Nope.
Fine. Maybe she was tired. Second interview, which you guys just heard, Dwayne, her dad, brings it up and says, what about that 9 o'clock information that he said on Monday?
She passes it off.
She doesn't want to talk about it. She clearly just says, we'll get to there, and they never do. This would be the time that you would think she would be like, oh yeah, you know what, Agent Kobach? He told me that at 9:10 his garage was open. But she doesn't bring it up. It's in a way where she just doesn't want to talk about it.
And why didn't Kobach bring it up? Or not Kobach. What's his name? I can't remember. Slip. Why didn't he bring it up? He should be jotting this down like, let's circle back to that. We'll come back to that. Never does.
About it for some reason. And if you have nothing to hide Chris really did tell you this, why not just talk about it?
And give you the
Did
evidence.
She talk about it in her third interview with Kobach?
Nope.
No. Fourth phone call? No. Did she ever bring it up to him?
No.
With all the long phone calls they had
I thought this was the interview that she gave her phone finally over.
All the information she brings up about what she thinks is important with Thrive and all this nonsense. She never brings up this 9:10 garage. She doesn't hand it over until September 4th. Now,
So
this is my...
She could have, from the 13th or the 14th, all the way until September 4th, she could have removed so much stuff. Holy crap.
Opinion. I don't believe Chris ever told her, hey, I think Shanann went out through the garage door.
Yeah, he
at
never said that.
9:10. I think if they had a conversation about this, it was more like, hey, did you go out the garage door? Because I got an alert at 9:10. Another reason why I don't believe Chris told her that it was possibly Shanann was because if he wanted people to believe that she went out through the garage door, why didn't he bring this information up to anybody? He didn't bring it up once to Tammy when he did the poly. He didn't bring it up to Coder. He didn't bring it up to any of the.
He wanted to make it look like, oh, she's gone and missing, because there was an actual different plan that we've talked about before that was supposed to play out, but Nicole Atkinson foiled that plan.
Officers that were on the scene. He did bring up the basement door open and about the 527 garage door being open, but nothing about a 910. So because of that, I do think it's interesting that if Chris did tell anybody about this alert, it was only to the mistress. So that's going to wrap up the video. I'm really interested to know what you guys think. So please take the time to comment below. Do you guys think that this 910 garage door is exactly what Dwayne was talking about? And if so, why wouldn't she want to talk to them about it? Why would she?
Because she was there.
And as always, I hope you guys take the time to like this video.
I think I'm going to do this into a two-part kind of video. I did state we're going to look at the theory about the girls. I want to make that separate because I want to talk about or focus on Dwayne bringing up the whole 9 o'clock thing. He slipped up. He probably shouldn't have said that. And then she's like, kind of like, oh, we'll get to that, Dad. Like, shut the flip up, Dad. Like, what are you coming up with? Because she was probably talking with her dad that morning for somehow, some way. I mean, we looked at the call logs and stuff like that. We did see that she was talking to people in Colorado, but she also made a phone call to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, which I've always led to believe that she was possibly talking to Jim, because Jim is from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Like the spider web of information that I've put on my, I still keep telling you guys I'm going to show you, but I've put the bubble there of Chris and Nicole, and it just spreads out all over the place of different things, and that try to tie them in together and so forth. Put it on a timeline, and it's just funny that everything that had to be focused on Nicole, the 111-minute phone call, the 9 o'clock something happening. She didn't clock into work. She clocked out. She doesn't remember what they talked about at the Lazy Dog, that restaurant. She doesn't know what they talked about on the 111-minute phone call, but then later in the notes that she posted, that she finally remembered that they were possibly having phone sex. Again, 111 minutes of phone sex, that's exhausting. You can't tell me that's what all you guys did. The rumors that speculated that she did not go home after the Lazy Dog, that she was actually still there. We didn't get any information from the babysitter that she was still there. But it seems like everything that they talk to her about, she manipulates it and gets it to be thrown off. Like, oh, we'll talk about it here. I can't remember. I'm really tired. I don't remember. It might come back to me. I'll let you know at a later time. Like, why is that okay? Like, I just watched 3 other cases today of them drilling a child that was 17 years old that murdered a grandmother. I watched another guy that murdered another guy because he had stole his weed whacker. And there was another one where a girl had murdered her acquaintance of her boyfriend because they both were dating her, and she accidentally stabbed him. All of these people that I've watched in these interrogations were so drilled and questioned, and on every little footnote that they might have had, their whereabouts, they didn't get to, oh, I don't remember. Like, the interrogators were like, no, what did you do? They literally found out, too, that they were coherent enough. Like, they knew what the date was. They like, drilled them on certain questions to find out that they're physically sane. They're not crazy. They're able to know what is right from wrong when it comes to the date and time and who's the president. Like, they'll ask certain questions like that to see if they're okay to be questioned, which I didn't see them do that with Nicole either. But those guys were so drilled hard that kind of came out weird. They were questioned to the letter. Nicole Kessinger is like, information and info that she was trying to give to help out in the case. Like my kids could talk better than she does. It doesn't make sense. And then some people are like, oh, Nicole Kessinger came forward. She told the cops what they wanted to hear. What? Like, I don't hear nothing that was positive. She kind of gave herself away from the Shanann. She couldn't even say her name. And when she did say her name, she did this. Like, Deceptive Detective threw out all these red flags. YouTube channels have thrown out these red flags. Not just myself, but thousands of other people. Why is this not an oxymoron to say, hello, Nicole Kessinger's got all these red flags, and they're like, we're good. Next. Like, it makes no flipping sense. And seeing Dwayne Kessinger's Facebook, he apparently changed it that morning. Did I ever show you guys that? I'll show you right now. So apparently, again, I can't state this completely 100% factual, but Dwayne Kessinger had apparently changed his background to Watts. You cannot tell me this is coincidence. Like, it says Watts. I mean, I've been trying to, like, debunk it. Like, why else would he put that on there? Of anything he could put on there, he put that. Am I wrong? Because the slip up, what do you guys think it is? That 9 o'clock statement that Dwayne possibly slipped up on, is that something to be highlighted in? What do you guys think it is? Please let me know down in the comments. If you guys want a part 2 for the Watts theories of if the girls were actually part of the whole plan, or was it because they saw what happened to mommy and unfortunately they were taken out because he didn't want them to talk? What do you guys think? Again, please comment down below respectively, positively. Like the video for the obvious reasons of justice for this case that hopefully one day we'll see. And don't forget to subscribe on all the channels, or the channel down below of Crazy Crime Chick. And we'll see you guys in the next video. So please take care, keep it safe, and as always, keep nerding on, and we'll see you guys next time.